Welcome, everybody. Good evening. And it's so great to have you here today for the launch of the GK Financial Group's Money Sense Masterclass. Woo! It is so wonderful seeing you all here in the room this evening. To all of you online, all the members of the media, all the GK executives, our specially invited guests, this is going to be an amazing event and a groundbreaking event right here in Jamaica. My name is Kalila Reynolds. Some of you may know me from social media as the Money Queen. And if you do know me, you will understand why this event directly aligns with my cause and why I am here. Because we want to help people learn more about money so we can all get this money together. So many of us, we go to school, we learn about all kinds of things, but nobody ever teaches us about money. And so we have our advanced degrees, and we have our great jobs and our fancy titles, but we're still in debt. We still don't know how to invest. We still don't know the first thing about managing our money, which is one of the most important things in all of our lives. And so GK Money Sense is here to change that. Today we will be hearing from Mr. Rich Walk himself, Mr. Ding Dong, Kemar Ottey. You know the Rich Walk? Everybody do the Rich Walk? It's just me? That's me. one of his dances that he came out with earlier this year, I believe. So I'm very excited to hear from Ding himself and to see what he has to teach us at this event in this series of 8 masterclasses and here at the launch event. But before we get to Ding Dong and to our panel of specially invited guests and everybody who is here to speak today, let me just mention that this project is near and dear to my heart, like I said. And a few weeks ago, how long ago was it? Not very long ago, probably a couple of weeks ago, I took to the streets of Halfway Tree to find out how much Jamaicans really know about money. I wonder what I found out. You can take some guesses, but we're going to run that video right now, and we're going to find out what Jamaicans really know about money, and then after that, we will have Kemar Ding Dong Ottey on the stage. What's the first thing you do with money when you get it?
Save and spend.
Well, I treat myself because I work very hard.
Hey, I'm Kalila, and we're on the streets of Halfway Tree to find out how much Jamaicans really know about money. So let's go talk to some people and find out. Excuse me, miss.
Yes,
Hi, what's your name?
my name is Ashlyn Williams.
Hi, Miss Williams. Well, tell me, do you have a bank account?
Yes, I do.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
All right, so tell me, do you also use online banking?
No.
No, not at the moment.
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I didn't get to sign up with it at the moment.
Because I never really trusted before.
You never trust it. Why not?
Because only for scam about.
Because I was using a different phone, so I just working with the account alone.
I never yet think about it, but no.
Why do you have a bank account?
Because I have to save. And I can't spend everything and eat everything. I have to try to save. It's small, but I still have to save something.
Trying to try to turn it around, make a little business. I raise animals like pigs and goat. So I'm trying to get some feeding and try to multiply it,
Makes sense. Thank you, Travis. Tell me, what's the difference between a checking and a savings account?
All right, savings is like the limited amount of money you have on your account, right?
A checking account is when you have the money at the bank and you wanted to check how much it is.
Like you check in your balance, is how much is leave on there.
You know you can write checks, right? That's what you write checks from.
Yeah.
Checking account.
Yeah.
All right, so we had to come dodge the rain a little bit and seek some shelter, but rain can't stop this reggae jam because this is important. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Gregory?
Hi, Gregory. So tell me, do you have an insurance plan?
No.
No, I don't have an insurance plan.
No, do you know what insurance is?
Not quite.
And why don't you have an insurance plan?
Because sometimes there's a little hassle and bustle for you to get the money to. Suppose, all right, so for instance, I pass staff. I have 2 kids, 3 kids. They have to, it's like I'm going to leave a fight behind for that money. It's about me, but that money going to cause a problem. That's my belief.
So tell me, do you have a pension plan or anything for retirement?
No, never think about it before.
What do you plan for retirement?
I'm gonna let it sort itself out. So when I get there.
And for retirement, I plan to do my farming in the country, write my animal, plant some food, search for it.
So I started a pension book. So I fill up one book already. I buy the stamp at the post office.
So you plan to work when you get older and you're going to do farming work?
Yeah, for myself.
What does the book do? What's the book, the stamp book?
When the book full, I just carry it to the place and them give me a next new book and I fill it up. So I have 2 more years leave to fill up the book. So get them my money at 65.
Kind of have an idea what is it about, but I don't know anymore about it. I don't know anything else about it.
That's why we're here. We're going to help you understand. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Things really bad out here. Matter of fact, let me call Ding Dong right now.
Khalila, how go on?
Hey, Ding. The thing's serious out here now.
How go on?
You know how it's been a while since you've been trying to get people to understand more about money, yeah?
Then look how long me are telling you, man.
Well, we need to do something like no, this minute, because there's a lot that people don't know and they just don't understand.
Yeah. But listen, me telling you, how not go by too technical. When I forgot to my people and explain to them word for word in a street term so them can understand. But don't worry. You hear me? Could go down a GK right now.
All right, I'll meet you up there later.
Nice, man. With respect. Nice. Nice. Okay. Pep in our step like crepe. Yeah? That's all? Oh, there's. Okay. Woo. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Good day, people. Look like me at the big leagues now. All right? So I'm Kemar Ottey. I go by the name Ding Dong. A lot of people know me by Ding Dong. Yes. And it look like me in the right place. See? So I came up from humble beginnings, just to let you know, from a community named Nannyville, off Mountain View. Rough community at times, but everybody have it. It's a rough side to every community, you know what I mean? I grew up and I see a whole heap of things. I could have made different decisions would have carried me in a different path. One who wouldn't know me as me right now, would even there so right now. Yeah, but strong mind and will and ambition go on different paths. You know what I mean? So take me here, which I'm so blessed and honored with, yeah? So we are here now with GK, and we're starting a campaign, which is, it makes sense. Right? And we're talking about money, we're talking about investment, how to take care of your money, how to save, how to spend. We're talking about all of that. We're touching all of those topics. For myself, I love money. How much you want to love money? Okay? Good. And if you don't love money, you need to start love money. Because when you love something, you take care of it, don't. If you love your family, you take care of it. If you love your kids, if you love your other half, if you love a car, if you love anything we have, you take care of it. So apply the same thing towards money and see how good you treat money. And money treat you back good. Even though money is not the number one priority in life or the number one thing in life, but it gets you through many things and many situations. If you don't have money, you're not going to live how you want to live. But guess what? If I offer you $10 million and say your mother did a morning, or your son or your daughter did a morning, you're not going to take it down. Though? So relationship more valuable than money. Right? And if I say I give you $10 million, but you alone are going to do it, you're going to boring and miserable to yourself, you're probably not going to take it neither. Though? So that means that happiness is more valuable than money. Your self-happiness, that's why I don't go for money. I tend to build relationships. So me coming to GraceKennedy was more of a relationship thing for me because I grew up on the products, I grew up on admiring GraceKennedy. But it brings me some money. I'm all right. You get what I say? But the whole thing is not to go for the money, because once you're doing something that you love and you're getting successful at it, you're going to get so much money that you're not going to know what to do with money. You're not going to spend money trust me. Because we have things now where we dream about forget as youth and even use it much. You have a car where you dream about and dead for buy, and you even drive it more time. You drive it when your friend them go somewhere or whatever the case. You get to me and say, so at the end of the day, the materialistic part of it, yes, it comes with money, but we are talking about like the more important value of money, that which is your priorities, where you take care of your bills, where food and all of them things. You get me I say? So we are talking about that, we are touching all them topics there and everything. We're starting our campaign, we're starting it on November the 13th, 5 p.m. We're starting our GK Makes Sense, Money Makes Sense. You see me? So, we want everybody log into it, everybody get a part of it. And we are here on this forum today to talk about all of those things. And I am so blessed to be here. Reason why I'm so blessed to be here, they say if you're the smartest and the most educated person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So I guess I'm in the right place. Yeah? And since my alignment and affiliation with GK, with Grace, I have learned so much about money. I've learned so much about banking, because I'm going to be real with you. I am one of them who is stuck on the old-time part of living where afraid of bank, afraid of credit card, afraid of all them things there. You know what I mean? Because we grew up with saving money and I need to bed. We grew up with even have money, so we have to go hustle. Go party, go sell buckle and them things there. And, just we can make up back for lunch money for the next day or whatever the case. We go through it as struggles, but sometimes people don't see the struggles where you go through if you don't talk about it. The money say the end product can feel like, okay, it just come from out and up not at all. Which me have to tell my son the other day, say, I love you everything and I do what I do for make sure I have a better life, but I have to understand where I'm coming from. I have to have certain experiences for myself so I can learn to appreciate things more. Not saying that me are sending out that I go suffer, sending out that I go struggle. But when you get things too free-handed, you don't appreciate it. And that's the thing with these kids today, because the parents of yesterday, which was us, work so hard to make sure that we're all right today. We take everything for granted. Now, when I ask my son the other day, like, what you want or what you look, you tell him about the flashy type of things. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Then we come. They're not going away. They might get even more expensive and more flashier. But you have to get something within your head and learn how to maneuver money. Easy to make money sometimes. It's harder to keep it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people see money and don't know what come with money. And I believe in this. Not everybody's supposed to be rich. Not everybody's supposed to have money. Because it's not everybody can deal with it. I can talk from my experiences. The amount of people will lean on my shoulder and the amount of people will me help. If you're not strong enough for doing yourself, you're get mad upon everybody. That's why enough people who are rich go to themselves and stay by themselves. They're not a family member around them and everything, because everything change up around them. And then when they say the people them change. Because what? They might try structure themselves to keep the money where them have. Right? And when time a man tell us say, boy, you know me have money, but you go beg me 200,000. If you just take up 200,000 gear, because you want to start a business, and Harry Jones over there want to start a business, and everybody wants to start a business. But if me not structure myself to save my money, invest so I can make back money even when I sleep, or me go help everybody, it not going to happen. And a lot of people wouldn't sacrifice for their own means to help everybody. So that's why not everybody feel have money. You understand? I'm just a talk true. Because everybody can deal with it. But at the end of the day, we are here, and you're not going to just hear from me. You're going to hear from these other beautiful people and their take to it. I'll put my input into it and everything. And I just do my thing straight, blunt, and plain. It's just the truth I talk at all times, groundedly, not by textbook. So I understand where I come from. You understand what I say? From the streets. So we're here today, and we have a good time, okay? Thanks.
you so much, Kemar.
Yes.
But you can't sit down yet. You have to show me how to do the rich walk.
Okay. No, we're talking.
Come.
Come like I know I do when I sing a song, you know. Yes, it's like a George Jefferson type of thing and you sing, but it's like, yeah, like no care in the world and nothing about you. Okay.
Do the rich walk.
Yeah, do the rich walk. The rich talk, go on for your rich talk. Yeah, we all about the bag, so a bag walk. Them slow like still never can walk. Yo, dog, me just start living a life
Okay,
yet.
I can't do that part.
All right,
But,
good.
like you said, the rich
Yes.
walk is not for everybody.
No, it is for everybody.
Yes.
And sometimes, all right, I said it like real quick. I said this to, I make a post the other day and I said, have you ever been a tourist? Simple post. Have you ever been to the North Coast before? Have you ever traveled to a river? Have you ever been a tourist in your own country? And enough people deemed me as being hype. And I said, hype? For telling you to enjoy yourself a little bit? Because my grandmother who raised me, she look at me and she tell me, say, son, when you work, as you get paid, the first thing you do is to buy a good meal. Very first thing. And I've been doing that for years. As I get my pay, I go in a one nice little restaurant and I buy one nice plate of food. But
Pay your belly first.
Yeah, but as time go on, I realize that she don't just mean food.
Right.
It's just taking care of yourself at a point. You have to just do something nice for yourself because you work hard for yourself. And one of my biggest regrets is that because she had to work so hard to take care of so much of her, she take care of her kids, which is my uncle and auntie them. Plus she come take care of her grandkids them at the same time. She never get a chance to go enjoy life one time. And one of my biggest things in life is was if I couldn't get her one more day. But I couldn't just say, come make her up on one beach and make the sun and little water, sea water, go to your tour and get some fried lobster for her or them things there. Because my grandmother, yo, listen to me, man. When me a big man, I know oxtail different from turkey neck. Because to how she cook that turkey neck, me I grew a thing say oxtail me I consume from little. And when me big, me realize say, I know oxtail this, mama did a cook. You understand? A turkey neck. See? So that's why me grew up on certain things and I was raised to hold my own and satisfy with what I have. That is why I don't have no sense of bad mind in me. I can't bad mind somebody. If somebody over there saw a win, I'm happy for them. I never red eye somebody for something with them I drive because I don't live beyond my means. I don't live out of my budget. You know what I mean? So I was raised to be satisfied with whatever I have and just practice right from wrong.
Sage advice from the elder.
Yes.
Yes. Pay
Always.
yourself first.
Yes.
Abundance mindset. Everybody can flourish
Yes.
at the same time.
Yes.
So for those of you viewing us online, drop a like, comment below. What do you like so far? What do you want to hear about in this series? And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to let us know in the comments what questions you have for our panel, whom, by the way, I should introduce at this moment. So you already met Ding Dong, you know, the star of the show and the star of the Masterclass series. We're also joined by Grace Burnett. She is the CEO of the GraceKennedy Financial Group. And we have with us Stephen Whittingham, who is the Deputy CEO of the GraceKennedy Financial Group. Hi, Grace, aptly named.
Yes,
Like your mother
Grace
knew.
from Grace. Yes.
Like your mother knew from birth
Grace,
that you would
yes.
end up here.
Yeah.
And Stephen, nice to have you as well.
Thank you, thank you.
So Grace, what made you want to involve Ding Dong in this project?
I think his authenticity. He's real, real. And when you look at the GraceKennedy Financial Group, a lot of our customers are customers that can identify with Ding's story. You know, there are persons who have just worked really, really hard for whatever it is that they've had. There are people who have faced a lot of adversity. And we felt that if we're trying to communicate with our customers, one of the things we have said is that we believe that aspirations, big or small, are meant to be pursued. And we put that deliberately because we understand our demographic. And if they're meant to be pursued, how are we going to help them to do it? And how are we going to communicate a message? Because our customers are often, even though are intimidated by traditional banks and banking halls. So how are we going to reach them? And we thought, you know, we have the perfect person who comes real and can identify and can communicate.
All right. So, Stephen, tell us about the project itself, GK Money Sense Masterclass. Why this approach?
Well, I think Grace kind of talked to you a little bit about why we're doing it and what the goals are. But I think the project itself is really designed as sort of like an adult financial empowerment program, right? Where you can teach people how to manage their money, teach people about what's important in terms of how do you provide for yourself and how do you protect your family and take care of all the things that are important to you. And Ding spoke about a lot of those things that are really important to all of us. But I think it was important for us to find a way to get this message out. So the program is designed to have very short messages. So everybody can understand. I mean, if you're going to sit down and watch it on Instagram or it can't be half an hour long, right? It has to be direct and to the point. It has to be in language that everybody understands, right? It has to be simple. One of my pet peeves is financial products. You can explain it in a way that makes it really complicated and nobody understands. Or you can just use some simple words and explain it, because you know what? Sometimes it's not that complicated, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the whole goal here is we pick some topics, we have a format, we have some content that we want to get out there, and we think we have a great person helping us get that content out to the Jamaican people.
Absolutely. You're speaking to the converted when you speak to me. I'm sure you know this. I'm all about making things simple. And making education accessible for everybody. Everybody must know about money, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you grew up, you said, in Nannyville.
Yes.
And that's a completely different situation from where you are today.
Yes.
What could have happened if you had made different choices? Because many artists, they come and go. They don't have longevity.
Sure.
You have broken that mold.
First and foremost, I think it's God. I just think it's nothing else. Because sometimes it's not just talent alone. Keep your short time. It's not just talent. I know people that is blessed with talent, but it's not just talent alone. It's mindset. And I always have a goal. One of the key points with this program is that you set goals.
Absolutely.
I always have a goal. So when I reach one, I try go to a next one, and I try go to a next one, and I try go to a next one. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people feel like goals are like the ultimate goal. Like I want the big house with a mansion, and if I can't get that, I'm not going to buy a house. But I was taught by Shaggy one time, our good artist Shaggy, and he was like, yo, sometimes don't think about the big house, right? Because sometimes even him himself, the people who enjoy free house are the man who clean the pool. Because they are foreign most of the time. So sometimes you have that pool there, if you have the big house, you don't even get to enjoy it. You don't even have family in there, you don't even have kids in there, you're alone. When I do in one house with 18 room or 14 room and I'm alone living there, I'm alone, I will clean out that, it's not going to happen. So sometimes you have to start small. You start small from a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom house, and you don't take a loan or whatever it is outside of your means. You know what I mean? So I've learned to get goals. So when I become a brand ambassador, yes. I then I then said I want to be a global brand ambassador. And it's not just to be like braggadocious or bragging about. I'm just trying to show the youths them within the inner city area that, bro, it's not where you're from. It's just your mindset of where you want to be.
I agree.
Nobody has to tell a man how to treat a woman. Nobody has to tell a woman how to treat a man. You know what I mean? Because these are things that you should know. But when you have a mindset of treating a woman like a queen, you're not going to mess up, you're just going to go forward to that, not just basically cheating her good. You know what I mean? So I grow to have goals and go at them, not just set them and be like, okay, if it happen, it happen. I work hard to it, and you have to have discipline. So I'm glad that I am around. Big up to Dan. One time Dan called me and Dan reason, and I have a relationship with the Grace family. I can call any one of them at any other night. You know what I mean? And I talk to them straight. I don't have to talk to them in technical terms, because they don't ask me to be nobody else but myself, which I love. You know what I mean? That's why we have such a good relationship, and I can go with them with ideas that I think when I reach out to the core people we are trying to go for, but have goals, you know what I mean? And set them and go for them. And I am here to learn. I have so much room for learning.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, so many nuggets already being dropped from Mr. Ding Dong himself.
Yeah.
Start with what you have.
Yes.
And discipline. Discipline is a very important one.
Yes.
So, Grace, who are you trying to reach with this campaign?
When you look across, you look at our business, you know that the money services business is a huge part of it, for example. So we touch close to 1 million persons in Jamaica every year, just with remittances coming. And you say to yourself, how do I, as I go out into the market, and we're in Portland on Friday meeting with some of the customers and talking to them, you know, how do I help to change lives? How do we help as a business to change lives? Because for GraceKennedy, we talk a lot about we care, but we say it's action. It's an action expression. It's not something you put on a piece of paper. So how do you exhibit care for these customers who have actually helped us as a business? And we owe something. And so, you know, that's how we go out there and say, these are the customers we're trying to change lives. One of the first things we did, we're one of the only institutions in Jamaica that have what we call bank agents. So we converted some of our Western Union locations to offer banking services because a lot of my customers are intimidated by the usual banking hall, and the persons don't possibly treat them with respect sometimes. And so they can come into a comfortable place and they can get all the services of a bank. And so this is just a continuation of that, because we really are trying to say, how do we change lives? But even our persons that we have in insurance, we have micro-insurance for them, because we're also trying to say, we can give you insurance broken down into bite-sized pieces that match how you earn. And so all across our businesses, we're looking for the bank. We have introduced a graduated risk profile. So you can come and open a bank account with just one ID. So we're always just looking to see how we can bring people in, or we can make people feel included.
So Stephen, Grace mentioned something very important just now, that you have a lot of people who feel afraid of the banking system. And you would have seen it when we went on the streets as well. We asked people, do you have a savings account? Do you have a bank account? Do you use online banking? And some of them were like, nope, not me. I don't trust the system. Why do you think that is, and how can we change that?
Well, so I think I agree. Definitely, that's a problem we have in our country. And I think it's even a problem outside of Jamaica, but we talk a lot here about the unbanked and the underbanked, right? What those terms are, again, some fancy terms, but really what they are people who don't have access to the kind of financial services that we all enjoy, everybody in this room enjoys, or people who may have some access but not enough to the point that it is actually helping them in their day-to-day lives, helping them advance, putting them in the best position to achieve their goals. So one of the things that we looked at and we said, we think this is a problem because maybe the companies don't communicate with the customers in the right way. So we said, well, we're going to fix that, right? We're going to find a way to communicate with the customers, and this forum is one of them. So maybe the message isn't coming from the right people. So we said, well, we're going to fix that. And so we've started to do that. And maybe there's some other reasons. Grace talked about somebody walking into a place and not feeling comfortable. And we all know you've walked into somewhere. It doesn't matter where you've not felt comfortable, right? It's happened to us all. But we at GraceKennedy do not believe that should be for a basic resource that you as a human being need to go through your life, and that's financial services. So we said, we're going to fix that.
So true. Ding Dong, because you've achieved quite a bit of success over the past, 10, 12 years? Yeah. Good while now you've been in it.
4 years or 2 years.
No, more than that. More than that, for sure. Because I remember you when I was just getting started in media, and I've been in it for a minute too. So yes, I remember you taught me a different dance at that time too. What is your vision for ordinary Jamaicans? Like, what would you like to see Jamaicans achieve for themselves?
Honestly, it's not even because some people have different goals, some people have different ideas and different ways to accomplish certain things. So it's not just what I would want to see, is what they would want to see for themselves. And if they're happy with themselves, then I'm happy for them as well. In terms of banking, there's a lot of things that people are scared with banking. Coming from where I was. That's why I have a lot of people where they will save their money and I need them bed, or they may carry the money and go give somebody else, go put on for them, or whatever the case. Because it's the accessibility to the money when they want it. When they want it. Now, if me have a bank account with a bank and I don't have the money for putting the money in it for the next 6 months, why when I go there, I go here say the account close or whatever the case? You're not supposed to close. You're supposed to can go back and say, boy, I'm not go on the money. I'm going to put on, give back something out there, please and thanks. And I get it and go with it. And you're supposed to come and sit down and wait for the next 2-3 days and sign over and follow over back the farm again for reopen back our account to me and with my money in another bank. So that's why this is just some of the real things that certain people go through in terms of getting back their money. That's why they're scared of the money. Now, certain things, because you're running an institution, that this is what people know on the other side have to understand. If you're running an institution as such as a bank, you have to put in place certain security. And these are certain security linings that comes with having a bank. Now, you don't want to have your money in your bank account and any random person just come and just take out your money and go with it. Because guess who you are going to blame?
The
Bank. Yeah. So guess who the lawsuit are going to go upon?
Yeah.
The bank.
So the bank have to secure for themselves, you know what I mean? But it's just we have to meet in the middle where people comfortable. And then
Now we talk.
people them at work sometimes, you have to understand. And because a lot of supervisors, I will not inform upon nobody at work neither, but a lot of supervisors are on the ground. If you're having a bad day today, coming at work, you don't need to show it. You keep that within you. It's just like me. I could be sick this morning. Barely could have hurt me or whatever the case. But me have to come and put a smile on my face. Probably I go through the worst thing. I have to come and put a smile on my face because it is what I do. It's my job. So if you come to work, you have to understand that not everybody will understand like how you understand in a technical terms. You have to know if you break it down to some people. You might get a customer who understand everything, so you don't have to explain much to them. You might get an old lady or a young man or somebody who not really understand. You have to be patient at times to explain certain things to them. And sometimes we don't have patience in a certain institution when people come because I think the people them automatically understand what you have to say. Not everybody computer savvy, just waking up with that. Not everybody so internet, like just waking up with that. So we have to understand, have to break it down, and this is some of the things that we turn away people from certain institutions because of that. Not just this alone, but this is just some of them, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we have to just find ways. And then our core people we are trying to reach, we know the type of people we are trying to reach, our core people we are trying to reach, from me and my people in the streets and everything. Everybody people them still, because everybody has to have something, you understand? Someone affiliated in that way. But if you can if you can break it down to your household, or you can break it down to your household, it do whole heap more for we. Absolutely. You understand? So if you have knowledge of certain things, banking or investment or whatever the case, you can break it down with some of your family members, which make it, because people, I talk to, which one of me and Kemar now? This? Listen now, things and time are change. We might have get it late, or we might have figured it out late, but I travel the world and I go outside the world. Some places don't even use money again. Certain places can't even go and use physical cash, buy something. Certain places don't even take physical cash. If you go into a hotel in a certain places, you cannot pay them with cash. You have to use credit card, you have to use all that type of them things. And them things are run through bank and everything. So the world are going to get there. Jamaica have to get there. So is you have to decide, okay, I'm going to wait until now for it, or I'm going to wait until it pass Ghana with the way behind. So you want to figure it out. But it have to happen.
Absolutely. So let's come to the masterclass, Grace.
Yes.
We have 8 episodes. Tell us what people will learn in these masterclasses.
I don't have all the various areas that we're going to cover, but what we're really trying to ensure is that by the time we're finished with them, persons will feel comfortable. advancing their financial investments beyond possibly, at least some of them have a bank account. But how do you use that bank account? How do you now start to go in and get that credit card that you just spoke about? And by the way, we actually we have an offer here, and Ricardo will talk about it a little later, where we're trying to put a prepaid card in every customer's hand, because it allows them to start to grow in their financial independence and to understand how to manage money. And so that is something that will give the access that you just spoke about. Every single person can get a Visa prepaid card.
And you just explain it to me. It's a brilliant idea. A lot of people kind of scared of having the physical cash on them going in or coming out on Western Union. So that idea is
and one of the things that people don't realize, we have over 700 ATMs in Jamaica. So you can get that remittance put on that card or in the wallet. And then you can go to the ATM and draw whatever it is that you want. Nobody needs to know you're taking a lot of money. And so you just manage your money that way. So you don't even have to go by your friends here with this water cash and want a drink out of it, right? So you can manage your money. So what we're trying to do is to just give our customers exposure to all that's available. I mean, we're rolling out mutual funds later this year into next year. Those are the target customers as well, because I think you may know, Khalil, that in Trinidad, about 60% of the population participates in mutual funds. And it's one of the ways in which the country has progressed. And one of the things we've always said is, whatever is good for Jamaica is good for GraceKennedy, and whatever is good for GraceKennedy is good for Jamaica. So as we help people to advance, Jamaica actually will benefit from what we're doing as well. And our Jamaicans will actually feel like they're participating, and it's not just something for the people on the hill.
Exactly. I never want to say the people up on the hill, I gotta use it. But
quite a few hills.
But Grace is right, and in addition to that, I mean, you know, the program is really around all of the things that Grace mentioned, but also around some other life skills for people. So budgeting, and saving. You know, how do you do that? And you'd investments. You'd be really surprised about, you know, just what happened. How somebody can benefit from the discipline of budgeting. We all kind of do it, but if you really understand how you do it and how you plan, can make a big difference. Things like insurance. Look, it's not just big for people who have the house on the hill or a car or anything, but there are insurance policies that can help people. We call them microinsurance, but there's so many different things, right? We talked about, in the series we'll talk about pensions, right? People in Jamaica work hard all their life. They deserve to have some kind of savings that is able to help sustain themselves after they have retired. So these are some of the
gentleman's plan, pension plan to go farm, more hard work for retirement.
Right? So we really need, the program has so many facets to it, and we're really excited about what it's gonna do in terms of contributing to helping people understand finances and things like that nature.
Yeah, and I just encourage persons, so as they post their questions as well, it could lead to additional sessions as we try to address anything that's burning.
Yeah, because a whole heap of questions people want to ask.
Anything that they ask.
And speaking of the questions, it actually is about that time. So I'm going to introduce our panel of experts in a moment, but I also want to point you to the screen in the middle that has the full list of topics for the masterclass. So you would have heard them mention some of them. Investing, pensions, online banking, budgeting and expense tracking. I love what you did there with financial security. How to keep your money safe. Exactly what you were talking about, breaking it down. Because who understands financial security? What does that mean? How to keep your money safe. Simple as that. And of course, your Christmas survival guide, among others. So for those of you online, drop your comments in the chat. It is time now for us to take some questions. You heard Grace say that your questions may also inform future episodes of the masterclass. So we value your feedback. We need your feedback. So let me introduce our panel of experts sitting over there in the corner. We have in the middle Suzette Dawkins. She's the Assistant Vice President of Personal and Business Banking at First Global Bank. Shaluk Richards, General Manager of GK General Insurance. And we also have Ricardo Ebanks, who is the Chief Digital Officer at GKFG. So it's about that time right now where we take your questions for the panel and for our esteemed guests as well. And we'll take questions from the audience. Are we also able to take questions from our viewers online? Just let me know. Raise your hand if you have a question. And do not waste this opportunity. This is a massive opportunity for you to have your voice heard, for you to give an input into this big campaign that GraceKennedy is executing on our behalf to educate all Jamaicans. And I think we have somebody coming with a question, no? I guess we did a great job of explaining the situation.
Yes, hey, listen to me, you know.
Them to talk.
Because someone there so now have question for ask, and I'm going to shy up on anything. When I ask a question, them want to know, because I know no fun to deal with banking, no fun to take out loan, no fun to do all type of things. And I go sit down here and act like I'm dumb and feel shy for ask. I don't have to get up neither, just wave on the answer in the ear, ask a question, and nobody have to move. We just want to know how to reach or how to assess ourselves and assess everything we are doing. Sometimes we do things after it happens. We are trying to prepare ourselves to do it, to set it so we're good before. You understand? So just ask any question you want to ask and we're good.
Well, let me start with a question for Mr. Richards while we wait for everybody else to come up with their own questions. And he is a general manager at GK General Insurance. Insurance is a tricky one because a lot of people, you heard during the Vox Pop earlier as well on the streets, the guy was like, I can't bother with that, it's too much rigmarole to get your money. Tell me why insurance is important.
So you're right. You said insurance is a tricky one because a lot of people think of insurance generally from a life insurance standpoint. That's one of the big things. But for us, insurance is important because it really prevents you from starting over from scratch. Really and truly, that's what insurance is, right? So you start your house and you have your 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, etc. How do you ensure that if something happens, be it hurricane or whatever, you're not starting over from scratch? Or if it is that you're working and you've gotten injured and you lost that income, how you ensure that you're not starting over from scratch? Or you deplete all of your savings on the medical expenses. Really and truly, that's what insurance is about. Ensuring that, protecting you so that you're not starting over from scratch.
That's good.
Very important. Now, Suzette, I was very surprised that the people on the street were telling me they have bank accounts, you know. They're fine with the traditional banking sector, but nobody I spoke to was using online banking. They were all scared of that. Why do you think that is?
Yes. You hearing me?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Good question, and it's also an experience that we see on a daily basis. And so what we take that is as our cue to take it down a notch, to teach, to make sure we're bringing everybody in at ground level and build up. So some of it is just, as you heard, they think it's unsafe and somebody's going to take my money away. So we take the time to sit with our clients, talk with them on the phone. Just yesterday, I was looking at our call volumes, and we get on a daily basis about 1,000 calls, and we listen in on those calls. And half of those calls is where our team members are teaching people how to log on, how to create a password. So we're here to help you to get to, as Ding Dong said, you know, when you go some places, they're not going to take the cash. Sure. So you have to go with where the technology is taking you, and we are here to help you.
Yes.
And Ricardo, that's partly where, we have a question in the back? All right.
So we have quite a few questions from our audience online, starting with, where can I watch this masterclass?
YouTube.
So it's on our YouTube channel, the GKFG, GraceKennedy Financial Group YouTube channel, and on our Facebook page.
Starting when?
Up the 13th. Start the 13th at 5.
November 13th.
November, yes.
5 p.m. Premieres on YouTube, Facebook, and all GK's social media pages. Next question online.
Next, how does this masterclass benefit business people?
Well, I would say, whilst the business people are not the target audience, it actually will benefit you indirectly because it's actually benefiting your staff and your teams. Mm-hmm. And it's helping your team members to understand the whole business of managing money better, which actually helps them to improve their lives and make them, I think, more engaged employees. But we can, if there is an employer that wants specific attention or for us to, to address their teams, we can also try to do that. But the focus right now is our end customers, as we call them. But, I'm sure what we are doing will ultimately benefit every small business.
All big business too.
Your customers gonna have more money to spend with you.
Yeah, no, but I for everybody, like every company want to manage money good, or else they'll go in a bankruptcy. So it's
I hope that they know how to do it.
Yes, it's ideas to everybody, so you can learn from it too as well. Yeah. Small businessmen, big business, everybody we are the business, workers, it's for everybody. From money I go through your hand. You want to know how to deal with money, to keep money. So enough for just after the whole of it.
I agree with Ding and Grace, because I think the lessons that you have, that we're going through, you're talking about budgeting, you're talking about insurance, you're talking about all of these things are applicable to small businesses as well. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think that anybody who participates will benefit from it.
Anybody.
Absolutely. And just to remind our viewers as well, so the GK Money Sense will be live on their YouTube and Facebook platforms every other week starting November 13th. So we'll be live on the GK Financial Group Facebook and YouTube pages to talk sense with GK Money Sense. Do we have more questions from our audience?
We do. So the next question is, what are the minimum requirements of a credit card, or to open or just to get a credit card?
Let's ask the experts.
All right. So good question, and thank you so much for it. Now, simple, you must be able to tell us who you are, tell us how much money you make, and then we're also going to do some background checks on you to see how it is that you have handled credit that has been extended to you in the past. So an ID, a TRN, something to verify your address, your salary slips, job letter. If you're a small business, we're going to ask you to show us your cash flow for the 3-year period. We want to see how it is that that business has been operating. So we have for individuals, as well as we have for small business, Ding Dong, and we have for big business. Yes. So come on in, let's have a conversation to see which one of the categories you fall in, and we will help you to get that credit card. I touched on the subject matter of credit history that we look at, and for those of us who may have had a bump in the road some time ago, it's not something that is going to be the end of the road. Mm-hmm. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's try to fix it so that as your business grows, you can take advantage of what else is there that a credit card can give you.
Yeah. Yes. So I would also say that in addition to the credit card options, we really have solutions that even start for people who don't even meet the criteria that Suzette was talking about. And that's why it's really important. So I would ask Ricardo to talk a little bit about our prepaid debit card, and that puts a Visa in, that has the capacity to put a Visa card in the hand of every Jamaican.
Sure. Thanks, Stephen. So, Ding mentioned it. Some people are a little afraid of credit cards. They think maybe they can't qualify. Mm-hmm. But you do want to have the same opportunities that Ding has to travel the world, to go to Dubai and make a payment, or even just to shop online and get something from Amazon. And cards allows you to do that. So if not a credit card, if you have an account with a bank, you can get a debit card that's linked to that account, which allows you to spend online. But there are also now options available, which we have one as well, which allows you to open a very simple prepaid card that you put the money on it and you're able to spend against it. You're able to take that online. You're able to go to New York. You're able to go to Florida, take that card out and access your money wherever you are. Mm-hmm. And the way how that product works, it's very simple, because if you're receiving remittances, then instead of taking the cash in the store, the remittance can go straight to the card, right? So it's a very simple product, and it allows you to get into the world of digital and payments without meeting all the requirements of credit.
Do you need a bank account to access that prepaid credit card?
No, you don't. If you have a Jamaican ID, that's it. You can get that account.
And how do you put money on it?
Well, when you go to receive your remittance from Western Union, you're able, through our network, to receive that money on the card. There is an accompanying app. So once you have set up for that app, you don't have to be in the physical store. You can actually stay at home. We see persons at 4 a.m. in the morning. Somebody sends money for them. They go in the app, and the money is loaded on the card, and they go and spend.
So outside of that, can I add money to it, though?
Yes. So we're working on the ability for you to go into a Bill Express location
and put
add money to the card.
That's
as well.
not yet started, but will be there soon.
I love the idea. I love the
Interested in,
convenience.
no,
people.
I was interested too, and I was like, this sound good.
People
Yeah, this
ask me
sound
about
good.
this type of thing all the time,
Yeah, it sound
so
good.
I have to take the opportunity to ask the
This
questions on
is
behalf of the people.
excellent idea.
But we have another question from the audience.
Does GK Insurance provide renters insurance options?
Yes, that's a short answer. Yes, we do provide renters insurance. You don't need to own the property. And you know, one of the things, Kalila and Ding, we realize that a lot of people don't add up how much money they have in the things that they have in their house, right?
Yeah.
So you buy all of these things over time and you don't realize how much value you have in your house. And because you're renting it, you decide not to insure it, but then something happens and you have to start over. Yes, we provide renters insurance. Any of our branches are much more than willing and happy to help you.
Big question.
Big question. It's not just for renters either. As just before we came here, I asked my makeup artist, how much do you think all this makeup, all this equipment that you have is worth? Because she has boxes and boxes and boxes. She has lights. She has all this equipment. That's something that she should consider insuring.
Absolutely.
And we also, as you say, you're a makeup artist. So she's a small business. We do create stuff for small businesses that appeal to the various things that she deals with. You know, she have a small amount of money that she needs to deal with. There may be some liability, so that if something happens to you or somebody while they're in the establishment, there is insurance for that. And you want to ensure that you don't have to start over from scratch. And so we put solutions in place for that.
Absolutely. More questions. The questions are rolling in. So Ding, they took your advice.
Yes, so we'll take 3 final questions from our online audience. The first one is, why does my money from my account disappear after months of not adding money?
Suzette?
You need to open a bank account at First Global Bank.
Yes.
Okay.
You heard that answer?
You can reach us at 1-888-CALL-FGB because you will not see money leaving your account for non-activity. You will get an advisory from us to say, come on in, we want to find out, we want to get in touch with you, we want to grow with you, we want to make sure you're not elsewhere. So reach out to any of our agents. We have 14 within the Western Union locations. You can reach us online or you can reach us at any of our main banks. I wanted to touch on something that Ricardo spoke on, and Kalila, you asked a question about a bank account. Now, in addition to having the card, you can also have a bank account where you receive your Western Union flows, your money transfers. So this is what we call direct to bank. So we encourage you to open a bank account. And let me tell you, to open a bank account is simple. An ID and a TRN is where you can start with the opening of a bank account. Now, when you get into the more fancy stuff and pay slips and all of that, accounting statements, we can get there as well. But reach out. Ding spoke about people staying outside. Come on in. Let us have a conversation. We're at the road now. This is what we're doing. So we're coming to you. We're coming to you. We're coming to you. So make sure when you see us out there on the road, talk to us. Ask us what it is that you need to. The makeup artist, I ask that she come and have a conversation with us too, because a bank account is to be established so that she can see how her money is growing. There's nothing more beautiful than when you open your bank account and see the growth that is happening over time. So come in, talk to us, let us, you have How many locations, Grace? Western Union locations.
Oh, well over 200.
Over 200 locations. And in 14 of them, you have an agent that will give you all the information that we're talking about up here. So reach out, reach us online, and we will share the information with you to help you grow your business.
Cool.
Next question online.
This person wants to know more about investments and how to maximize the growth. Sometimes it seems to be slow.
Yeah. Well, I'll take that one, right? So I'm glad that person brought up that topic because we didn't get to touch it. But the concept of investing really scares people. And it scares people because they think they need to have a lot of money to start to save, to start to invest. And that's just not the case. If you invest $100 or $1 million, you are still getting a similar return regardless of how much it is. And what we are trying to do is we're trying to encourage people to understand that if once you start saving, it will build up over time. The thing is that people get nervous because they're like, oh, well, I don't have enough money to save. But saving is not about the money. Saving is a discipline. Exactly. It is something that we learn over time. And if we practice it over time, we will eventually start to see the returns from it, right? From the perspective of GraceKennedy, we have quite a few options in terms of savings. The bank has savings options. That's one thing. Then you can get even more exotic types of saving options. Everybody has been reading about how the Jamaica Stock Exchange has been doing so well. At GraceKennedy, we allow you to invest in the stock exchange. You can invest $1,000 in the Jamaica Stock Exchange and watch your money grow as well. So the thing is, I just want to encourage everyone to start. To make, if it is even $1,000 a month, just start. Just start. Right? That is the discipline that we want to encourage, and that's what you're going to see in the Masterclass series.
Cup of coffees.
Yes. Absolutely, and it's the same message that Kemar gave us earlier. Start with what you have.
Absolutely.
You gave the example of the house, but same thing applies to investing.
But this is what I do in time. Come used to work too, you know.
You still work.
Yeah, I'm still work. No, but your work kind of sound different now. Your work kind of sound different now. Now, come work probably harder than most of the people in there. But I just have fun and do what I do because it's my passion. Like, me there studio for the whole night, then me go up on a stage, go perform, and me as a man mostly have fun in what I do. But me usually like site work and them thing there, you know, stadium and them something. So you see, me usually save from them time. That one thing we don't know for save, because I'm disciplined that way there. See? So you see if me I get $2,500 a week, me just block my mind, say $2,000 me I get a week. So $500 automatically I got a bank account. So the $2,000 me I go live off of $2,000. You understand? Instead of say $2,500 me have. Because your mind is a very powerful thing.
Absolutely.
It's so powerful that it make you think like, you know what I mean? Everything going to be all right for the next month and the next month if you don't have the money. And I say it work. You see me? So you have to it's just simple ways of saving. Sometimes it will get hard, because I'm now telling you, say, we understand the system out there. Because a lot of things that we are telling you now, it have to do with money same way. Whether you have to start, you have to open an account, you have to save money or whatever. If you don't have the money in the first place, so you have to save. And then now, workplace them now really step up the thing in terms of payment certain way, and then the expenses them kind of get higher now, because everything gets expensive. So this is where you're going to marginalize now what you're going to buy or what you need for, and prioritize what you need from what you don't need. Be smart now with spending, because some ladies, some man mean, not really are going too much. You understand? Just to tell the truth, you get to me I say. So sometimes you have to know what you want, bend an eye from certain things. Because me not have to wear a big expensive clothes to look good. Because some people feel like a clothes and them things they make you look good or whatever the case is, so you put yourself together and think. So you have to know, say, them things they are just clothes and shoes, are just clothes and shoes. You see me? But like, you build them on them things there, and you have to put on. It's not where you make, it's where you save. Because it's not where you have now, it's not the money where you're going to make or your expectations and where you're going to get paid, go and save it down the line, and where you save. And where you save, whichever you want to save it, but the best place to save it at the bank. Because you're sure right there, so. Is where you save and where you make. Because you can make your money today and collect 20,000 today and spend half the whole life. Go party, buy food, buy this, buy that, go sport, and have nothing tomorrow. But if you save your money, you're good. You know what I mean? So we are encouraging you to start save. If you don't start save yet, I don't know which world you live in.
Yeah.
Your granny taught you well.
Yeah.
Ding Dong dropping some gems. The masterclass is going to be lit.
Turn up.
Make sure you tune in on November 13 and every other week after that. We're going to take one last question from our online audience.
Yes, this final question is actually a really great way for us to close out this Q&A segment. This person wants to know, how is this good for Jamaica?
Because think about it. When you look at the population of Jamaica, they put it close to about 3 million people, right? Mm-hmm. When you break that down, possibly about half of those people are actually folks who are struggling. Persons who, because I tell you, we deal with almost 1 million persons every year collecting remittances. If all of us can come together and change the lives of that 1 million, that's a third of Jamaica. Think about it. We start saying to them, this money is coming into you, and there are ways to approach it. Not to spend all of it, but possibly that same 10% you talk about. Yeah. You start to save it, you start to invest it, you start to do things, start a small business, get some chickens, plant some things. You start to turn it around, then your standard of living will improve. And think about it, if 1 million persons in Jamaica can start to lift that standard of living, little by little, with some of what we're doing and other things as well, what will that do for Jamaica? Think about it. That's a third of Jamaica. And so the vision we have is if we can change even half of those lives, we're actually helping to transform Jamaica. And that goal, we have that 2030 goal about the place to live and do business and, grow families, can actually happen. Because I always struggle, what is it that we're going to do as a country to really and truly achieve that 2030? It's education. But it's not just formal education, it's how you help people to navigate life and to make themselves better. And that's just how we see it.
Well, thank you so much, Grace. We're coming to the close of this launch event, and I want to encourage everybody to mark the date in your calendars, Sunday, November 13. GK Money Sense Masterclass premieres on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere GK is online. And it will be there every other week until all 8 episodes are expired, unless they record some more. I'm sure.
I think we're going to record
kind of
more
questions we ask.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. So I will see you then. Thank you so much, Ding Dong, Grace, Stephen, our esteemed panel, everybody in the room, and to you, of course, our online viewers. We appreciate your presence, and we'll see you at the Masterclass.
Just real.